Hey, free thinkers. This morning I got up and I went to church, to thank God for what He has given me and my family. And without Him, nothing is possible. Um, but I also look at this way how this country is going, and the divisiveness and the vitriol and the racism, and it's not, believe it or not, it's coming from one party, and that party is letting you know that the other party is racist, but they're the one that's pulling the card. I think it's a problem when you could tell a person that because of their color you need help. And it's not coming from the Republicans. The Republicans believe in, if you have the will and the strength, you should be able to go out there and work for yourself and get these things. But the Democrats feel that we as blacks, we need help. So you let us look inferior to the rest of the world and to the rest of the country, that we need help. And as long as these racists, because those are the real racists, are allowed to push this narrative, you're going to always think that you cannot live up to your best potential, because they have that crutch telling you that you can't do better unless we help you. Imagine somebody telling you that you cannot do better unless we help you. You should be appalled that somebody's telling you you can't do better unless we help you. So they put these social programs in place, the so-called help you. But these programs have not helped us. They either demoralize us or push us backwards. Because there's the other part of society that looks at it and says, look at this. We have all these social construction programs put in place and they're still not doing good. We need them to get out of our way so we could do the best that we can. No white man is stronger than me, because we're all God's children, God's creatures. It's the potential that you're able to put into yourself and the work you're able to put into yourself to get up, the discipline, the hunger. Do you have that in you to show everybody else that I don't need that leg up? As long as people tell you that you need them, then they rule dominion over you. You have to let people know to get out of my way and let me be who God meant me to be. You don't need their help, because their help comes with consequences. They will talk down to you because they think that they're giving you help. They will label you because they think you're giving you help. They'll tell you because of the help they're giving you why they're talking down to you. I watched the past couple of weeks. They have said that the former president have said so many racist things, but I've never heard him say black people. He said people. He said Americans. But I hear the other party talking down to black men, the brothers. I'm not your brother. I'm a man just like you. You put on your pants just like me. The problem is here that you think you're better than us, to where you think you could talk to us and tell us that we better vote for this person or you gonna be mad. I don't care if you're mad. You should be mad. There's no program that you guys have put in place to support the black culture. You guys have not done that. The social programs you guys have put in place is to hurt the black culture. And society's seeing it and watching it. So they talk down to us. You tell us that if we don't vote for this person, then we're not black. Who are you to tell me that I'm not black? Who are you? We have a candidate that we don't know who this person is, Indian, Jamaican, black. We just want a president. And I don't see any agenda for these young men to get them off the corner. I hear you say that you were the U.S. district attorney where you prosecuted all these people. But I didn't hear you say you put anything in place to help young black men. If you get them off the corner and get them into jobs, a lot of these young men have ideas. If you think about some of these drug dealers, they're dealing with ounces, grams. They know how much of it to put out and how much money is supposed to come back in. That's math. Imagine if they convert that into something that's worthwhile. But you have these guys on the stage saying they're friends of yours. Their music emulate trafficking, drug dealing, sexism, all the debauchery that society turned against. You have them on stage and say these are your friends. You have put the worst of society above us, and you're saying these are your friends. I want you to ask yourself, people. They have the tax code for uh, middle class. They tell you that they're going to raise the tax on people making $200,000, 300, 400, 500, 600, 700, 800,000. I've never heard them talk about a millionaire tax. And when they said a millionaire tax, it never happened. Because for them to tax themselves, they'd have to tax every millionaire. And for a millionaire to tax a millionaire, they have to tax a billionaire. And they're not going to change the tax code to help us. That's why the backbone of this country is the average taxpayer, which is the middle class. You may be lower middle class, or upper middle class. We're the ones that paying this. Look at your W-2 form. Look at your withholdings. Because everybody else got a scheme of how not to pay. And it's not a scheme, it's how the tax code is set up. But it's not set up for the millionaires and billionaires. It's set up for us, the average people. So I don't need for anybody to tell me that if I'm truly black, then I'll vote for this person. I've been black all my life. Came out of the mother's womb, I was black. So how do you not tell me that I'm not black? Who are you to tell me that I'm not black? My mother was black and my father was black. Your mother is white and father was black. How could a woman that's married to a white man know a black man's pain? How do you know the struggle of me not taking care of my family? How do you know the struggle of me cannot come home and take care of my family, pay my mortgage, my rent, my food for my kids, be in the house for my kids? How do you know my struggle? How do you get it? How do you get it? How do you understand that when you don't go through that? I hear what you did. You know, you grew up in a middle class home. Middle class mean that your mother and father was there. But how many of us was allowed to live that dream, that American dream of a middle class family? So how can you say you get it? You can't get it. It's not for you to get. It's not your life. How do you tell those three mothers who lost their daughters that you got it? What did you get? That you let those murderers into the country, or did they lose their children? What did you get? Because you didn't lose anything. We have to start thinking, people, not voting because of our feelings, but what's best for us. And what's best for us is not to put somebody in there because that's the where the country where the country is going. We got to put the person in place to make sure that what our pockets are feeling. That's what's best for us. The gas price go down, mortgages go down, food go down, insurance go down. Your husband could get a job, your boyfriend could get a job, your boy down the block could get a job. So we could get a job so we could support our family. Put programs in place to teach young men how to better survive. I saw this guy named Killer Mike that's in his community. He's going and talking to all these assemblymen, and he's right. We more focus on the presidential election, but all election starts local. You got to go talk to those politicians and see what they have in place for these young black men or young men. You see, I'm kind of focusing young black men because society have turned their backs on them. And then we have a woman calling us dusty, lazy, bum, broke, piece of s. But until this country invests in its the minority population, we're going to always be here. But what they will do every 4 years is show up to tell you what they have done for you. Think about what they have done for you. Put it on a piece of paper and write it out what they have done for you. And you could drop it at the bottom of my page what they have done for you. Not what they said they're going to do, but what they have physically done for you. The change that you have seen in your community. Because the change that I've seen in my community is young women getting more and more and more opportunities, and they're taking the money and doing the wrong things. But they're not there to support the family. So free thinkers always think about that. If they're not going to support the country, support the family, then you shouldn't support them. Free thinkers.